All right. I'm thinking about, TIs have so much difficulty sleeping at night, and we have absolutely no sense of security, right? So I've been thinking about this thing called sense of security. And before my campaign, before I became a targeted individual of gang stalking, I was a backpacker, one of my passions. And I would head out alone, or I would go out with my family. And this was something that I really enjoyed, that I can no longer take place in, at least not alone, right? Obviously. So, but that's not the point. The point is I remember sitting in my tent alone at night, and what a difference that provided me. Backpacking, you come across a lot of wildlife and bears and things that can eat you. And so when the sun goes down, everything kind of gets a little creepier. But once you're in the tent, you feel safer. Now, of course, you're really not. Okay, this little piece of material is not going to stop a bear or a mountain lion that's a man-eater from ripping you out of your tent. It's not going to. But it provides us with that comfort and that peace enough to bed down at night and rest, right? Well, in terms of gang stalking, our previous reality that we always knew up until our campaign began is kind of, it was really like the tent. And now that tent has been removed, forcefully removed from you, and you're questioning everything, and as a TI, you know the kind of danger that you're in and how close you can come to these people whether you're aware of it or not. And we know about break-ins, and we know about the murders and the rapes and all these horrific things that at times come along with being a TI. So it's very difficult to get sleep at night, plus electronic harassment. So I've been thinking, it really doesn't make sense to be sitting up at night being concerned about this and feeling unsafe. Because honestly, you guys, we've been unsafe this whole time. We just didn't know it before our campaign. And I know that sucks, but it's always been the same reality. We just had no idea that this existed. So it was really like the tent, providing a piece of security that wasn't really providing anything actually tangible and beneficial to our safety, maybe from the elements, but that's about it. Just a thought I had. I know it all seems very new and very, very unsafe, and it is, but we've been unsafe for a long time now. We're only just becoming aware of it. So let's go ahead and get used to that, because it's always been the case already. So get some sleep. All right. Street stalkers, on-foot stalkers, or thugs, all the same thing. They're employed by the gang stalking community, by the city, and thanks to Agenda 21, this is why, Agenda 21 is why these people have a job, and they don't make very much. They work about 16 hours a day. They don't make very much, but see, I'm not going to start bashing perps. That's not what I was trying to get into here. But basically the point is that they are undesirables, right? And they employ undesirables to take out us, the targeted individual, who are also unwanteds, but for different reasons than the perps are, right? So the perps, they take on this job usually because of ego. They tell their things like they're a community visual anti, or they're serving their country. This is a very dangerous job. Perps and handlers get hurt. They sometimes they get killed. See, this is very brilliant. This is how they hit two birds with one stone, removing two desirables at once. And a lot of times, and I've witnessed this, a lot of times you'll see your handler or your perp being gang stalked. And that's actually maybe why they started gang stalking you in the first place. But you do actually get to witness this sometimes, right? So, they're killing two birds with one stone. You are both unwanted. You, the TI, are an experimentee, and they are done with you, usually, and now you for whatever reason, you are the perfect candidate to be that, and now it is time to do away with you. We are in the final stage of your campaign. We have an election going on. I haven't done a video about that. That's a really touchy subject, but you know what, guys? This is really going to affect us as TIs. It's you can kind of see where the Senate is headed right now, and that has a lot to do with what's going to happen to us. And I think we need to start a conversation about what is going to happen to us after this next election. It wasn't a conversation it's not a conversation that's I'm hearing enough of. And it's clearly such an important one if you just look back to the last election and how, in terms of gang stalking and the last election and ones before. So it's seeing how gang stalking is getting so much momentum, that needs to be something that is in the list of our conversations. We need to talk about what's going to happen to us and how we can prepare for that as marks. It has potential to be totally stepped up. Maybe we will be eliminated entirely, maybe not. Maybe it'll go the other way. But that's something that needs to be discussed and pondered. But don't obsess on it. Don't do that now. Okay, so, okay, covert signs of aggression. I haven't been bringing this word up enough either. Covert signs of aggression is the language that we TIs speak to the gang stalkers. It's a language we have been sensitized to. It's basically a way to say F you without anyone else knowing it, being aware, except you. You are totally aware. That is a covert sign of aggression. That is a bad example, but it's a covert sign of aggression. So, and what's partly so aggravating about being gang stalked is your family and friends and the loved ones around you. These things, they don't speak this language that unfortunately you've been forced to be sensitized to. So it's very aggravating to see your loved ones being gang stalked and abused, and they are unaware of it. They don't know why, but you do. Now, it's important to understand, you guys, while this might be very, very painful at times, there is one reason this is being done, and one reason only: to piss you off, to get you to lash out, act out, express yourself to that loved one in the heat of the moment while emotions are flying, and you cannot convey what's going on with the proper language and mind. This is Why? It is only to agitate you and nothing else. Do not take the bait. Sometimes these things your loved ones are going through are extremely painful. Do not take the bait. If you want to express yourself about these things, make sure you're in the right mind and you are using the proper language. That is the only way to handle this particular circumstance that I'm talking about, that we deal with as TIs. Man, I'm really messing this thing up today. All right, distractions. I just want to touch upon this really quick. Distractions are something I'm not talking about enough as well. They're very... these episodes that are put on for us, these synthetic realities, are very damaging and seemingly very real. You must ask, why all the glitter though, right? Where is the real distraction? Why is putting on this show necessary? Usually when they're putting on these shows, it's because they're setting up the big show somewhere else. When you're being drugged, or they're setting up a synthetic reality for you, and you're living the nightmare that week or that month of gang stalking and brainwashing, what they're doing is, it seems like they're really prepared for that event, and they are, but it's a two-part process. All right, they're abusing you right then, but they're also setting up for your future abuse and your future episodes and psychosis and gaslighting. This is setting the seeds of gaslighting. During these episodes, things might be said that don't mean anything to you at that time, but later on down the line, maybe 6 months later, maybe a year, these things are brought up again, and it causes a reaction in the brain, and we start gaslighting ourselves because we are creating too much meaning out of these little plants and sayings that they plant around just to mess with you later. So where's the big show? Try and find the big show. For example, I was coerced and baited into leaving my home and my family a while back. And the mistake that I made with that was the distraction. And the reason why was because the big show was here back at home, and they were setting up in the community. See, they really don't, while they like it when you move around because it causes you such turmoil, but they don't like it if you're moving around and it's not while they're coercing you. So if you pick up stakes all of a sudden, they do not like that. If you go against what it is that they think that you're going to do, or they're trying to coerce you into doing, that just irritates the hell out of them, because it takes a long time and manpower to get these campaigns going and continue to go. So they've got to set up shop. So that was the mistake I made. They were here setting up shop while I was being mobbed and sensitized. See, so they were hitting like 4 birds with one stone there. Okay, I think that's pretty much it for now. Thanks for joining me again on Voice Gang Stalking. Welcome everybody. Welcome newcomers. Any comments, I really appreciate. And please like and share my video. Thanks, guys. Good luck.